Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Taylor if you don't know me, and today we are going to be talking about Gypsy Rose's bleach fail. We'll get into it, but if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor. I've been a hairstylist for 10 years now, and today we're just gonna chit chat about this video that has blessed us. I just want to start this video by saying, however you feel about this girl, whether you love her or you hate her, she has definitely made a big name for herself on social media in the past 2 years since she's gotten out of prison, and even before then with the whole case thing. We're not going to talk about that today. I know that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about that, and we're just gonna glaze right over that and focus on the video. I do have a couple different hot takes that I've gathered from doing research about people's reactions to this, because it has really taken the internet by storm. It's pissed off cosmetologists, just people in general. People have gotten fired, allegedly. There's a lot of controversy around this, so let's talk about it.
Now to attempt to color my own hair. Oh my god, my hair looks terrible. Okay, so I've been seeing about this TikTok hair trend for 2025, and it's called the Teddy Bear Blonde. So it's a mix of brown and blonde. So I'm here at the store and I'm gonna try to attempt to do a balayage and this color and bleach myself. So I gotta get everything that I need first.
Okay, so if any of you don't know what she's talking about as far as teddy bear blonde goes, so here are a few pictures to just kind of really envision in your brain what she's going for. So we do have our starting goal here.
Okay, so this is my entire cart. I feel like I'm opening up my own salon right now.
So one of the biggest controversies around this entire thing of the girl just coloring her hair at home is that she is shopping in a Salon Centric. I know that other people were trying to argue that it was Sally's and you can just buy these products anywhere, but you can't. It is Salon Centric, and Salon Centric has actually come out and started an investigation as to why she was allowed in the store. So if you don't know, Salon Centric is basically a wholesale / professionals only store that you have to be a licensed cosmetologist, esthetician, hairstylist, barber. You have to have some sort of cosmetology license to even enter the store. It is posted all over the doors that it is professionals only, licensed professionals only. And the biggest controversy is who let her in this store. Now, I do agree with that. However, I don't think we should burn her at the stake, because she can read. We know she can read. And she had to walk past at least a few signs that said licensed professionals only. But it, at the end of the day, is the employee's responsibility to look at them and be like, are you licensed? You know you have to be licensed to shop in here, right? You have to be licensed. I've been asked multiple times, can I see your store card, your license? When you go to Salon Centric for the first time, Cosmoprof, Salon Centric, I know that there's other ones that are around the United States and world and whatnot, but in these stores specifically in my area, you have to sign up with your cosmetology license and your ID, and you can't even have somebody come pick up your color for you unless you call beforehand. And they can't shop around. They can only pick up the specific products that you've already paid for, and they have to show ID. It's very locked down. They don't want the general public in these stores. And yeah, somebody let her get her whole shopping cart and still checked her out. So that's a lot of the controversy. People are calling her a celebrity. Salon Centric in their response called her a celebrity. This is the comment interaction that went down between Salon Centric and Gypsy Rose on TikTok about this whole thing. So yeah, it's been a mess. I do agree that the general public really shouldn't be allowed in these stores, because this is professional grade product. There are chemicals. It's dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, you can really hurt yourself with these products. But at the same time, you can go to Walmart and get a box dye and harm yourself and give yourself chemical burns with it. You can go to Sally's and buy a bucket of bleach and throw it on your head and get a chemical burn. At the end of the day, I do think that even though there's a lot of knowledge around all these professional products, like on the internet these days, people still underestimate how dangerous they actually can be, and that we do have to go to school for years and like thousands of hours to get a license to be able to legally apply these to other people. So if you want to do them to yourself, of course you have free will, and nobody can tell you what to do with your body. But I strongly urge you, if you're going to put lightener on your head, do your research and do not burn your scalp. You can cause irreparable damage to yourself. So she does all her shopping, and now that she's home, she is gonna give us a little haul.
10, 20, and 30. Okay, so I have these developers. The Shades EQ Gloss. So this is the processing solution bowl, clips, balayage board, gloves, foil, brushes, round brush. So I got these because I like the name. I got another bowl, Redken, up to 7. Whisk all of my Redken EQ formulas. So I have 2 formulas that I need to mix up. So I need to mix up the overall highlight color, and then I'm gonna go in with a root melt. So for the lighter highlights, I got 09N, so that is Cafe au lait. I have 09V, which is Platinum Ice. That is to help in case it turns out way too yellow, because since my hair is a level, I would say 4 or 5 by naturally. So what that means is I'm going to pull a lot of yellow when it becomes bleached. So that 9V will kind of help reduce the level of brassiness and yellow. This is also 8V, and for the root melt, I'm going to be doing walnut and Moroccan sand. So walnut is 5N and Moroccan sand is 6N.
So there also has been a little bit of speculation about how much she spent, everything that she bought, and that she even makes the comment that she could start her own little beauty salon at home with everything that she bought. And like, yes, she did go a little OD with buying everything. However, I get it. She's excited. Most people aren't allowed in the store. Like, I get it. She got the okay from the sales associate, apparently, that they would let her finish out her purchase just for this one time today, which is wild work, but I get it. She was excited. She was like, I'm not gonna be able to come back here. I might as well get everything that I might ever need while I'm here. So I do understand like the really over exaggerated, like the buying 3 developers. Girl, technically she bought 4 because the processing solution she got is also a developer. So she went a little crazy. I will give her that, but I did go through her haul and I did figure out how much each item costs at Salon Centric. Granted, they do often do a lot of like sales. They have their big summer blowout sale coming up. They have lots of like days where I'll walk in there and be like, oh, all of Redken's 20% off today. So I don't exactly know what sales were going on while she was in there. However, the wholesale before tax and before any sales or discounts that she was given, the wholesale price of everything that she purchased was $316.81. I don't know what the pricing in her area is, but she definitely could have paid somebody that to just do her hair. I get it if you really want to do it at home. I guess she didn't get this experience when she was younger or in high school or whatever, so I get it. We've all been there, but that is a lot of money to just spend on lightener and stuff to color your hair one time. I mean, granted, she does have all of this stuff and she did get shampoos and she did get different products and stuff, but a little crazy when for the same price you could have just went and gotten it done and it would have probably turned out to be what she wanted. I also will note that when she is going through her haul, she does definitely have pretty good color theory as far as like picking out the toners and her goal color and how to get from point A to point B. And she said the level of her own hair, she wasn't too far off. I'd probably say she would be about a 6 just from looking at it. So she wasn't far off there, and shades do go a little bit lighter and more translucent than what you're going for. So the 5 and the 6 for her root, definitely. All right, girl. Who told you that? Where did you learn that? But all right. Okay. She did her research.
Like I said, I don't have any cosmetology experience, but I have gone to the salon a lot, and so I do know kind of the process of what it takes to do a balayage. I'm just doing it at home. And so we'll see how I do. I'm nervous. If it's a disaster, I'll just go to the salon and get it fixed. But anyway, okay, time to prep. Okay, I just want to put a full disclaimer that I am not a licensed professional, and I'm completely doing this as a do-it-yourself project. Here we go.
She does say that she has no cosmetology experience, which also would mean that she's not licensed, which she does state later in the video, which means that she knows she's not supposed to be in Salon Centric. It's fine, I guess. Not my company, whatever. But I do see why people are very, very, very riled up about this. With her saying that worst case scenario, she can just go to the salon and get it fixed. That is actually best case scenario, girly. Worst case scenario is that your hair fries off, you have to shave your head and start over. Or it's beyond repair. Also, if you mess it up that bad, which you'll more than likely pay triple and do like 3 appointments to try to fix completely what you've done and like mask that, unless you find a stylist that will go in 1 session and just do it, but you would be definitely paying for that service. So you kind of costed yourself more money in the long run, but it's whatever. Now, I'm not going to show you how long it took her to section her hair out, but just know it took a very long time. I'm happy that she sectioned it. The sections could have been a little better, but it's okay. We re-sectioned it out in a couple minutes anyways, so all good.
Okay, so I've got 2 sides. So since I have previously highlighted hair, I will use a volume 20 for the previously lighted hair, and then a volume 30 for the virgin hair. So I'm going to use 1 scoop on each side. 20. And I'm going to use the same measuring cup because it is considered 1 ounce. So I'm going to make the right side, I will make my 20, and for the left side, I will make my 30.
Okay, so her mixing, okay, good for her. She knows the ratio of the lightener to developer that she's trying to use. She does put it in the same cup as she scooped her lightener out with, so that was good on her. So it is 1-to-1. Was a little worried about how she was going to measure out her developer because I didn't see her get like a measuring cup or anything, so alright. I was also a little nervous about that because sometimes the little cup thing doesn't equal an ounce. I normally weigh my color out personally, but I am a professional, so it makes more sense for me to have scale to do that since I do it on a daily basis. Her theory of 20 and 30 is a little off. So 20 is going to go onto the hair and keep working slowly and just keep lifting and chipping away. And 30 is going to have a spike and then just trinkle out and do nothing else. But it's that spike in the initial that's, a lot of people don't prefer that. In certain cases, 30 does work a little bit better, but she should be putting 10 more than likely on those pre-lightened pieces because they are pre-lightened, so they don't need as much. And I would have put 20 on her darker pieces since it's probably going to take her a while to get it up there too, and 30 is going to spike before she even gets to the top.
And so since I don't have another whisk, I'm just gonna have to improvise and use the back side for this one. It's just not as helpful, but it's still kind of working.
Like she used the same cup, the same scoop to measure out both her 20 and 30 volume developer to pour it in. So you kind of already have a little, unless she rinsed it out, you kind of already have a little bit of that residue in both of them, or whichever one she did second. So I personally don't see why she wouldn't just take the same whisk and either rinse it off or just put it in both of them. You've already mixed them. It's the end of the color brush thing kind of drove me crazy. That was a little silly. At that point, just use the brush. Just use the brush. Just put the brush in there and scrape it off real good and make sure it's mixed thoroughly. It will take you far less time than using the very tip to stir. It was actually really crazy to me that she did that. Also, this might be a nitpick, but you're technically not supposed to use anything metal. She has a metal whisk. You're technically not supposed to whisk your lightener because it aerates it and makes it weaker, which in her case might be a good thing. But you're also not supposed to use metal because it has a weird reaction with lightener. You can't mix it in a metal bowl. You shouldn't mix it with a metal whisk. And when you put it in foils, it's very, like, the foil consistency is very different than just metal. It's meant for, like, concealing the heat instead of, like, causing a chemical reaction. And there's a difference between, like, food grade foil and regular Hairstylist foil, so that is why it's more expensive too.
Concentration right now.
I was really rooting for her up until this moment. Now I think we have lost a little bit of hope. 30 might not have been the best for that bottom section. I do see where she was going with it's darker, so it's gonna need more oomph, but 20 would have been a good baseline for her, especially with how long it's going to take her to get all of these foils in her head. If the first one took 15 minutes, her hair is going to fall out before she's finished. But at least it's off the scalp, so it won't get as much heat from her head, so there might be some hope.
Paint. I'm just gonna paint random spots. And then hope that it goes.
Okay, so we have 86 of the foils all together, and we are just painting and pulling and painting and pulling, which is bad. So your lightener should go on the hair very, like, thick and evenly if it's gonna lift. And her just doing this is gonna put a little bit of lightener everywhere instead of where she wants it, so it's just gonna be not enough lightener on certain pieces, which is gonna cause, like, orangey spots, and it's not gonna be great. Okay, so everything that she accomplished, she ran her fingers through. So it's not going to lift right, and she just made it splotchy. So any attempt at a slight technique she had there, she did comb out. Okay, we're back to trying to mash foils onto it. Okay. You know, I appreciate that she's still trying. She hasn't given up yet, and that is something to admire.
This is a disaster. Okay, so balayage didn't go over so well. So I ended up just doing it all over bleach. So I have a strong feeling like I'm gonna have to go to the hair salon tomorrow.
Okay, so we have a jump cut to where she has lightener all over her head, and it's not applied thick enough to really be a bleaching tone, and it's going to be orange in some spots, and there's some spots that are probably going to be white, and I don't know if she did it with 20 or 30, so RIP her scalp, and let's hope for the best here. It's not looking good.
Of all the stuff that I bought at the store, didn't buy a cap.
The Ziploc bag is a sleigh. Love that. It's gonna trap the heat in, get a little bit of those ends to be a little bit lighter than they were. It is gonna help the splotchiness process, but you know what? We can cover that with a root melt. She is right. You can hopefully cover that with a root melt if you apply that right.
Okay, so it's not quite as bad as I thought. The highlighted parts are exactly where I wanted them to be, so I want them to be a pale yellow. There is some, I don't really even know what that is in the back. I'm gonna give it 10 more minutes and then I'm going to rinse it out.
Lightener does appear whiter than the hair actually is while it's like on the hair, especially with like a bleaching tone. So normally you should like scrape a little bit off before rinsing, but in her case I think this is the best it's gonna get, and it's best to just get it off her head ASAP.
Okay, big reveal. Okay, it's not so bad. Not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
The spot in the back of her head, I hope she hits it with a root melt. I truly do.
Oh.
Okay, so for her root, she is using 1/2 ounce of a 5 and 1/2 ounce of a 6 and 1 ounce of processing solution, which is the correct formulation for her hair. She probably could have used a little bit of ash in there just to kind of help tone out some of those orangey yellow spots, but since Shades is kind of blue based, it should do the trick as long as she applies it correctly to those spots.
Since I really can't see the back, you can just comb it through.
She should be brushing it as she's applying it. Product, and then brush it, and just so it's even and she's really getting in there, but I don't see a lot of like lifting up on the top to get to what's on the bottom, so I don't have the highest of hopes, but she's doing the thing.
Try to saturate that area because I really don't want to have to go back.
Yes, girl, resaturate those spots. Yes, and keep brushing it, but not too much.
Toner is washed out. Now it's to reveal the final product. Okay.
Okay, it doesn't look bad wet. Let's see it dry.
Okay, so this is the finished product. Now, don't let how sleek it looks fool you. After I blow dried it, it looks absolutely terrible, and there was a lot of breakage and there is a lot of damage. I can already tell that it's completely fried. Overall, it is not salon quality. It's not up to par for a salon, but it looks okay for now.
Okay, there is a big patch in the back of her head, but it does not look terrible dry. I will give her that. She did say it was a little damaged, so fair enough, as to be expected when you're putting 30 volume on your head yourself, but fair enough. It definitely is fixable, and go her for not letting her hair hit the floor. Okay, so my final thoughts. I think that she didn't do a terrible job. I think she did an all right job, especially for coloring her hair, like in her bathroom, bleaching it for the first time or so. I think it's her first time bleaching her own hair. I don't know. But she didn't do too terrible. I think things could have gone a lot worse. So I'm glad they didn't. I do think that it's kind of sad that whoever was in Salon Centric while she was in there did let her shop there, and now I believe they're probably going to lose their job if they haven't already. So I do think that that is not so great, but they should have definitely, regardless of status or celebrity, definitely told her like, hey, these are the rules. Those are my thoughts on the video itself. I think that self-expression is important. Obviously, I'm a hairstylist. I help people express themselves every single day, and I love my job, and I do know that some people do their hair at home, and I'm thankful that she didn't end up with any chemical burns or her hair falling out. That's about all I have to say about that. I do like that she acknowledged that it's harder than it looks and to leave it to the professionals. I do wonder what she's going to do with all of the leftover product that she did buy, because she did buy a big bucket of lightener and 3-4 developers, so I don't know what she's going to do with that, but I'm sure she'll figure it out. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you had as much fun hanging out as I did. And if you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!